I just want to give you a bit of an insight into the AFL Enjoys team. We're a bunch of unique individuals, Matsa, Sfenda, and Dean. We're going to engage with our minds and our hearts. We're going to exchange ideas, thoughts, and even our energy. And to speak from your heart, you need to have courage. You need to be honest and authentic. We're not always going to get it right, and sometimes you're not going to agree with us. But that's okay, because just like you, we care. Just like you, we're passionate about the game. So if you want to come along for the ride, join us at the AFL Enjoys podcast, because we really enjoy the footy. Hello and welcome back to the AFL Enjoys podcast. Got a huge week coming up, boys. Brownlow tonight, grand final on the weekend, day off on Friday. It's all
AFL
happening.
assistance package announced today as well.
Who
What's going on?
Who cares about who's going to the grand final? Honestly,
Oh, mate.
just turn off the TVs, enjoy your long weekend, go away. Nothing relevant is happening on Saturday, so
Are
it's
you
fine.
sure, George?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I'm wearing black, and Matts is also wearing black for mourning of Carlton's loss. So
Look,
symbolic.
even, mate, this is black of celebration, bro.
No,
I don't
know which
want
culture-
Carlton or Collingwood in there.
Which
Not gonna lie.
culture celebrates with black? I don't know where you got that from.
I'm starting my own
Matt's
culture.
has just
Oh,
rocked
wow.
up in black to make sure they did. That's all it is.
That's it. I'm rocking up to their funeral. You know what I mean?
The Trisayons tonight for
That's
Carlton.
it. That's it.
Well, look, we might as well start there. George, I've got to be honest, we haven't heard from you since the
Yeah.
siren went.
It's going to
So
be quiet on the Georgie
I
front.
would like just some time.
I
for
do
you.
like talking the chat and then disappearing.
Yeah.
I like leaving it up to interpretation.
Look, you were entitled to talk as much as you wanted, but I want to hear from you now, seeing as though I haven't yet. How were you feeling during the game? What's your feeling since?
I'm not even remotely upset, and actually,
That's a lie.
I know it's not a lie. So you guys know that I don't lie on this show. I'm very honest, and I'm an honest supporter, and I'm just not upset because we're not as good as Brisbane, and we all knew it. Every supporter knew it. I'm pretty honest with Carlton. I feel like I'm a relatively reasonable supporter as well, and that was why the win against Melbourne was so critical, because that was a winnable game. That was like a historic win and a confidence boosting win, but we left it all out there, and I just felt, I didn't really publicly say this, but I felt like Carlton was running out of legs. So that was like a ridiculous win. And then they have to G up and do it all again and come up against a fresh season, not having lost one game at the Gabba Brisbane Lions. It's hard to do. And so everyone knew it was hard to do. No one expected Carlton to win. And then they started with an absolute bang. And I'm like, shit, what? Are we winning the flag? And then, but this is the thing. Like they threw, like it, I can almost understand. You can almost read the mentality of the Blues. It's like, all right, boys, we're gonna do it. Throw everything at them, and they did. And look how good they are when they throw everything at them. But the difference is they can't sustain it. And I think there was something that they were saying that Carlton's pressure in the second, third, and fourth quarter was the worst it's been. It wasn't bad, but it was the lowest it's been since like the Gold Coast game, which is what started the thing. To me, that's only that they just can't keep it up. They lost in the middle. Brisbane just kick goals way too efficiently. Like Gabba is a short ground. That's why you can score quickly. So you can kind of bomb it from the midfield and mark it in the forward line pretty easily. And some of the goals that they kick, like we're bombing it on Charlie Kerner's head, and we're pushing, and then like they'll switch it into the midfield, and then 170-meter bomb to Danaher on the lead goal. So they're just a class above, and it's okay. Like they're allowed to be better than us, you know. So I think it's hard to be upset as a Carlton supporter, because I think they've gone as far as they can this year. They're a type of team like the GWS Giants where they probably feel like they are probably good enough to have sneak a flag this year if something happened. Like if Carlton didn't have to verse Brisbane and they had to verse Port or something like that, some miracle, then maybe they go to the grand final, then who knows. But they're not as good as Collingwood and Brisbane. And when we reflect on the season, the best two teams are in the grand final. That's just, it's clear as day. So it's hard to be upset with this team because they've got everything out of themselves. They've turned it around like crazy. And when you've got a team that so clearly is getting the best out of themselves, so clearly comes and brings the pressure every week, is so clearly fighting to the end, you have to just be proud. Like that's what you want from your team. Gone are the days where like you watch Carlton, you don't know what you're going to get, or they're down by 60 points a quarter time and there's no effort. These guys fight like they're warriors. So as a supporter, they got the most out of themselves, and they were 30 points up in the first quarter of a prelim final. Who would have picked that? And it's a record-breaking season because no team has turned it around in season as late as that and made a prelim ever. GWS broke the record, then Carlton broke the record in the same season. That's how crazy both those seasons were. So I'm generally not upset at all.
Fair enough. Look, I'm assuming there was probably some emotion at the time of the game.
Yeah.
Let's be fair. That has to be the case.
Look, the thing is, I was there. I went to Icon Park, and there was like probably about 5,000 to 7,000 Carlton fans. Pretty cool place to be when it's just so heavily. Well, there's only one type of person there, Carlton fans, and we were so up and about.
Who'd you go with?
I went with the old man.
Yeah.
We so up and about. The roar in the first quarter was crazy. It was like you're actually at the MCG. It was mental. And then it's kind of like, oh shit. But I generally think the realization at halftime came that we're not going to win. And at 3/4 time, it was already understood that we'd lost. And it was kind of a quick switch. But at the same time, going into the game, we just knew that we're such a slight chance to win this game. Like, think about the climb that Carlton has had to do to get to that point. And then you kind of got these big, fit, clean, healthy boys that just kick you off the edge.
It was a really impressive start, man. I mean, in that second and third quarter, it's just not good enough to only kick one goal. And obviously the Blues, put it all out there in the first quarter in the final series in general. So it does make sense that they just ran out of legs. And the way the game sort of went, it's not surprising to anyone, I don't think.
No, and like Brisbane, you'd say we're always going to win that game after half time. But at the same time, they're like the Blues, like they didn't give up. And there was even 10 minutes left to go, and like the game's still alive somehow. That's the spirit, that's the fight of the Carlton team at the moment. That's why supporters are proud. That's why they gave him a standing ovation and clapped them off. Like, and Harry Mackay, it's one of those dubious free kicks where he probably should have got a free kick, but they didn't pay it because umpires just don't pay any free kicks in the last quarter. They're too scared to make a mistake. He kicks that goal, and we're 10 points behind with 7 minutes to go in the last quarter. With that momentum, anything can happen. Like, we're never going to win, right? Because they're clearly the better team. But it's not like we were in it against such a good team. Port lost by like 60 points, man.
Yeah.
So,
we don't need to talk about Port. That's embarrassing.
They fight, man. This team fights. So, yeah. When the team so clearly has a game plan, they failed miserably during the season. They worked out what the issues were. They corrected them. They became the best team in the second half of the season. They've ridden the whole wave to a prelim final and gotten the most out of themselves. Well, that's a pretty successful year, man. And the other thing, probably the last thing I'll say is Carlton next year is probably their expectations now go even bigger because there's more to do. But very, very, it's very, very uncommon for a team to jump from outside the 8 and win the flag. Teams have done it. Like the Bulldogs won it from 7th. I think Richmond did it from 9th. But the Brisbane Lions have been in the top 4 for like the last 5 years. They've lost like 3 prelim finals. And now it's clearly all year that they've found a little bit of a different level. They got Dunkley in. Players like Rayner and Bailey have kind of gone to another level. And they've just ready. And you can just tell that the Lions are most primed that they've ever been to win the flag after losing multiple prelim finals. Collingwood lost the prelim by 1 point or a couple of points to Geelong last year. Now they're in the thing. It's a natural progression. So let's see what they can do next year. Let's see what Carlton can do in the off-season to kind of put a little bit of more outside class because they've got the contested players. They're crazy.
And I was going to say, that was the big highlight for me from you guys, just the amount of pressure and the contested nature of the game.
Yeah, they play like warriors.
Immense, man. It was fantastic to watch, but that's hard to sustain throughout a whole game because, let's be fair, there's 2 teams going on, and Brisbane, in this case, they've just got so much class on the ball. Like Neil, I don't think it was his most prolific game, but whenever he got it, my God, the way he was dancing, it's like it took him a quarter to realize, all right, these guys are going to be on me straight away. I just need to be calm and literally just like ballet dance around them or something because he was
navigating the tight spaces.
They're smart midfielders. You can tell, like they're the type of midfielders that like you go for the hand pass and they predict that you're gonna do something tricky. Like they're smart, and just the forward class that they have. We've talked about it all season, but like Bailey, Rayner, Charlie Cameron, Archie, Cam McCarthy as smalls, they're just lethal, man. You can't make a mistake in the forward line. break 2 tackles, they'll burst through like 2 seconds and they'll kick goals. And that's exactly what I said was going to happen in the preview last week. I said we're going to fight hard, we're going to fight, and then they'll kick a goal against the flow in like a 2-second play. And they did that 3 or 4 times. That's just what they do. They're a deadly team, man. And so is Collingwood. So I think it's going to be, hopefully, a really good grand final because 2 very skillful teams are in there.
Yeah, for sure. With Carlton, if I'm going to be a hater, because, I've enjoyed being a hater recently for some reason. But, I think what needs to happen, you need to get a bit more out of Curnow during finals. And I don't think it's entirely his fault. I think it's a bit of the setup. It's the fact that Mackay goes in and out, so his role changes a little bit. He couldn't really prepare for his opponent, you could say. I don't know. The ball needs to be going into the 50 a bit better.
On that note, I think George was sort of touching on that. So your point sort of backs his up in a way, in that if Carlton had better outside players, they would be able to enter the forward 50 with a bit more class, a bit more speed.
I'll give you a couple of things. Like, obviously the season's gone now, and the really, really quick reflections on Carlton is they need some more outside class. They've added run to the team. So Ollie Holland's first-year player, super young kid, right? Akers been a massive inclusion. And there've been some other players around the ball that have added some pace. The other thing that's helped Carlton is a couple of injury-prone players that are very talented have got a run at it. So McGovern played a full season pretty much. Caleb Marchbank's come back and played football. David Cunningham has played a role this year. He hasn't played for years. And who's that? Jack Martin. So a couple of players that were ifs have actually come in and played consistent seasons. But if you want a premiership list, these type of players either need to be durable for the next couple of years or need to find replacements for them. But just if you look at the potency of Brisbane's forward line, we need small forwards, like genuine gun small forwards. And I don't know where we're going to get them from, but I honestly think you trade your first round pick for a gun. I look at someone like Jack Ginnivan from Collingwood, who's on the fringe of Collingwood because they got Bobby Hill. I'd take him. You need that type of player and another one and throw it into Carlton's list. I think we still need to find a way to deliver to Charlie Curnow and Mackay better because they're still the 2 best keys in the comp, I think. Yeah. Now that Hawkins and Camera at the end of their careers. And I think the other thing is we've got to find a way to get our halfbacks to be more damaging with the ball. Saad's got to find a way to be more damaging. McGovern's a really powerful kick, needs to be a bit more damaging. We get Zach Williams back next year. He needs to find a way so that we can set up our ball movement, not just through contested ball in the midfield, but also through transition. Those are a couple of key areas. It's a prelim final team, so quality team. So they're not that far off it, but they need some more class, some more kind of thing that helps them just take that next step.
Do any of your small forwards make it into a premiership side?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I think Motlop is classy, but not that quick. He's just not a fast player, which is not what you'd expect. Always is just a role player. Fogarty is tackle pressure galore. That's why he's in the team, but he doesn't do anything. He's got no class. So if you turned always into Tom Papley, I say Tom Papley because we could have traded for him years ago, and Motlop into Charlie Cameron. How crazy does that came with?
Sorry, that's you can't ask for those.
But what I'm saying is that's how much better the forward line is to get for it to be a premiership team. Brisbane.
I think that's a bit much because those. I don't think it is. The thing is, those 2 guys are literally Is there any other small forwards on that level? There's none of them to go around. Is what I'm going to get at.
Well, there isn't anyone to trade for at the moment. Yeah. But if you look at Brisbane has those, and they're in the grand final.
Yeah.
And look at Collingwood. Collingwood has Jamie Elliott, extremely talented player. Bobby Hill, extremely talented player. Who's the other one? Ginnivan, who will play. And then they've got Hoskin Elliott, half forward role.
You might be onto something.
Bo McCreary, half forward role. And they've got a couple other ones that run in and out. They're super, super high skilled players, man. Super high skilled. Compare Jamie Elliott and Bobby Hill to Motlop and Owis. It's not the same, man. So obviously, the reason I picked Papley and Charlie Cameron is because they have some history of potentially going to Carlton through the Gibbs trade and through another trade. But
okay, fair enough.
I think...
are there any whispers? Are you hearing anything?
Jade Gershom. But I don't think he's there.
I've heard that he's very likely to Essendon.
Yeah.
because for some reason, like after everyone was saying they're going to go to Port, now every free agent wants to go to Essendon, which is really weird.
I think you're right. Like, I don't think they need to be to that level.
No,
but
I think maybe one, and then a second one who's just solid, like a B player. Also, a B small forward
at the minimum.
Yeah, because that's what like maybe B plus. Like Lincoln McCarthy, B plus.
He's B plus, but he's the worst of their brigade because they've got Cam Rayner, who's a number 1 draft pick. Zach Bailey's an absolute freak, and Charlie Cameron's the best small forward in the comp and has been for years. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
You mentioned Fogarty before. I just got a comment to read from a DM from one of our AFL Enjoys fans, JL, who says Charlie Curno's biggest issue is Fogarty hanging around him like a barnacle to a whale. So he seems to agree that you do need some better small forwards. Shout out to JL.
Well, I think I said it last week that Lever was on him. And so how's Charlie Curnow meant to take a mark when Lever's giving Fogarty no respect? So
yeah. Fair enough. Well, look, you've been pretty honest there, George. You actually did tip last week Brisbane by 19, so you were a few points off. Pretty accurate in what you thought would happen.
I just didn't think the team was going to get blown out because they're not that type of team at the moment.
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to say, Walsh, welcome back, my friend. This guy has had like historic final series, these 3 games. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins the I think it's the Gary Ayres medal, whatever it's called, best player in the final series. I just want to remind everyone, like, I don't know if people have forgotten, like, he's been injured the last 2 years, had no preseason. The guy comes back with like from having a rod in his back and gets 30 possessions every week. I get Butters, his superstars, had a better season than Walsh, obviously. Rosie, amazing play. It's a super draft, but Walsh, in my mind, is still number 1. He's still number 1.
Interesting.
So
man. You might be saying he's better than a Brownlow medalist after tonight.
It might be, but I reckon if Walsh, like, I pray for his health so that he can have a full preseason, he's going to come out next year and he's going to torch everyone to shreds.
Is he the potential outside class?
Well, he's both, man.
He's both.
He's just a freak of nature. I just don't want people to forget it. Don't forget that Walsh is a freak of nature.
All right, we won't. Calm
Okay.
down.
All right. Okay. Thank you for the reminder, man. Thank you for the reminder.
Don't forget it. All right? Put it under your pillow and read it before you go to bed every night.
Oh, jeez.
That's how you remember
And
stuff.
actually, now I'm starting to get angry.
Oh, here we go.
Jacob
Let's go.
Wiedering, right? Jacob Wiedering 4 times All-Australian squad, never selected All-Australian, broke the record for the amount of intercepts. Like, he's had 3 or more intercepts, 15 games in a row. That is the most ever. No one in history has ever done it. The man still didn't make All-Australian. Whoever's in that All-Australian squad needs to jump off a bridge. If this guy is All-Australian squad again next year for the 5th year in a row and doesn't make All-Australian, I'm going to grab a torch and I'm going to light fire the AFL headquarters.
I think what happened is the AFL remembered that Larky kicked 7 on Wiedering.
He didn't kick 7 on him. He didn't kick 7 on him.
They picked him instead.
Yeah,
They
true.
didn't kick 7 on him.
Selectors don't forget,
That was
man.
yeah. That was
Selectors
the
don't
tipping
forget.
point, man.
That's
That
such
was
a
it.
bull. Like, I absolutely hate that shit. Because first of all, he was only Liam Jones was on him as well. Second of all, Carlton was the worst historic team in history at that time.
Historic team in history.
Say it twice to reinforce how bad we were. When there's no pressure on the ball, how is a defender meant to do anything? Like,
Fair enough. Look,
the fact that the selectors got influenced by that
yeah,
means that they don't know anything about football.
they don't know ball, man. They don't know.
They don't
ball.
know. They don't ball.
But look. To be honest with you, Wiedering has impressed me a lot, especially like during this final series. But Harris Andrews is the best key defender in the comp.
Well, not according to stats and history, but
Well,
that's
just
fine.
because of intercepts, and that's it.
And one-on-ones.
And one-on-ones as well.
Yeah.
You being serious?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out later. But based on the eye test from the game, Harris Andrews was the only thing that didn't make that first quarter any worse.
You're right about that. He was amazing.
He's
I'm not saying
unbelievable.
he was. Look, their defense held up really, really well, and Carlton needed to be 60 points up to win that game, and they probably could have in that quarter. So he won a lot of one-on-one contests.
Mate, one-on-ones, two-on-ones, man. He saw ball, he got ball, like during that, especially during that time.
Even Gardner was surprisingly good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, look, I hope North freaking, try to go for one of him or Payne, just because we need that, I don't know.
Jack,
Key
here
defender.
comes the pain. Why not?
Here comes the
Is
Payne.
Payne will stay, but Gardner might be.
Oh, we could use any help. I was going to say as well, actually, just quick shout out to the travelling Carlton fans. I'll tell you what, we're watching that game thinking, is this even a Gabba home game anymore? Like,
No, it
Did
was
you guys know the
50-50.
Gabba was that small of a venue.
What a ridiculous crowd.
Was it 36K?
Yeah.
No wonder, can I just say, look, this is a separate subject, but no wonder the AFL does have a Victorian bias. Would you rather have 96,000 people through the gates or 36? Come
Yeah.
on.
But like, not just the bias, but the idea that like to play the grand final anywhere else,
What a joke.
but the MCG is crazy,
Ludicrous.
Like if Brisbane, they're going to be a gun team for the next 3 or 4 years. They don't deserve to. You can't have the biggest game of the year in front of 36K.
No.
It's just nah. Big time, probably some Victoria bias from us here, but it just can't happen, man.
Yeah.
It's just no business sense.
No,
No,
it's
you
completely.
can't have it. It doesn't work.
Well, I guess on to the other game now. I just want to put out there before we even start. Rewind to last week's pod. Man said Collingwood by a point, and he was right.
True.
Far out.
The Pies got it done. Look, it wasn't convincing, was it? I mean,
Nah.
Giants, fair play to them. What a season they've had, similar to Carlton, like you mentioned.
Amazing season from the Giants. Like,
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was a really tough contest. I think Collingwood's just got that, man, they've been doing it for 2 years now. They just win these close games. I think it's going to be very interesting next week. I don't think Collingwood can smash Brisbane, but then again, they'll hang in the game.
Yeah.
It's going to be really close. What did you guys make of that whole game on Friday night, the way it went?
Game of inches, man. I mean, anytime it's 1 point, like it's effectively an even game. And it becomes one of those things where if you take that moment, and I think the Giants had a couple of moments where they just missed goals that they should kick, or they didn't pass it when they needed to. I don't know, maybe they lacked a bit of composure that Collingwood has, and Collingwood just has an ability to score so quickly. Like the Giants had, a 15-point lead, or maybe even a little bit more at times during that game, which in the final is big, and then it's just called back really quickly from a couple of quick-fire goals. I thought Toby Green was exceptional. I mean, all the talk about Toby Green, man, that guy is a big moment player. Yeah. And talk about inches. If that ball that he kicked was just like a centimetre to the right, it's a point, and maybe there's extra time. Yeah, I think all the Giants, man, they're a deadly team. Like, this is Collingwood here. This is the best team in the comp. And very easily could have won that game. That free kick to Toby Green goes Toby Green's way. Like it's 1 point, man. It's 1 point. So it's such an even game. Collingwood is the big moments team. And I don't know. It just felt a little bit more like destiny that they were going to win that game. The crowd behind them, the fact that they've been number one all year. But yeah.
You know what?
You'd be devastated as a Giants fan. Like, so close. And I tell you what, they make the grand final. They're almost favourites.
It's going to be a close game either way, no matter what happened. Matsa, what were you?
Oh, look,
ready
I
to
was
say
going to
that?
start talking about the free kick situation.
Okay.
And the Kane Corns says a lot of crap. But one good thing that he said was you can't let the AFL tell you that they don't adjudicate these games differently. Because it's night and day, man.
Without a
the
doubt.
protection of the head thing was so rampant throughout the whole of the season for it to just get thrown away. Like, it wasn't just as simple as, one of those ducking tackles. If someone ducks and they just get a little bit of touch around the neck, it wasn't just that little bit of touch around the neck. These dudes were getting like clobbered, man. Like they were proper hits, man.
And even the dangerous tackle, that suplex in the first quarter. Like, how is that not a dangerous tackle? I enjoyed
underhook.
it. I enjoyed it. I'm glad there was, it was a fair tackle, I guess. But
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Look, there's absolutely no doubt that they put the whistle away. I think they're just scared to influence the game.
It's the fear of,
But in doing that, they are influencing the game.
it's like
That's
you,
right.
you don't want to make the mistake the wrong way, so you'd rather not make the mistake. But then that's also a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, I don't know. That's something that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we need better umpires? Like, I don't really know how that's good.
If
how to
I was a
fix that.
player, or if I'm playing the grand final this week, I kid you not, I would know that in the last quarter, anything goes. You start holding, you start doing bullshit because you can get away with it.
Yeah.
No, exactly
I've
right.
had this idea recently of just a wholesale AFL tweak to the rules to say that the umpires between the arcs, so in the middle of the ground essentially, pay those ones where you're a bit unsure, give the benefit of the doubt that it might have been a free kick. But in the 50s, be a bit more harsh, make sure it's obvious.
Yeah.
Because it's essentially like a penalty in soccer, in that the penalty box usually need something a bit more clear and obvious to be given, whereas fouls around the ground are a bit more common. That would not work because it's the AFL, but something tells me like there's a bit of logic in that. But again, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I like the idea though. I like the idea because when you're giving away a goal, it's huge. Like it makes a massive difference, you know. Yeah, so no, I like that idea. To be honest with you. So shout out to GWS though for this season as well. Similar to Carlton, like a team who didn't know what they were doing up until midway through the season, and when they figured it out properly. Like Himmelberg goes into the defense. Whitfield finds crazy form. Like his second half of the season was could have been all Australian, to be honest with you.
Better than ever now.
Yeah, that was that part of that footy that he was playing was best of his career probably. They just managed to figure it out. Like who was the guy? Because Brown went forward. He's just a hardworking, damaging player. Iden goes up to another level as well. I think they're both Irishmen. Those boys. Great players. Their midfield balance is as good as it's ever been. And all the guys that got poached didn't really matter in the end. Taranto,
Jesse
Hopper,
Hogan, career best form.
Hogan is
what a monster, man.
Yeah, they've just assembled all this talent, and they're going to be up there. They're going to be top 4 the next 4 or 5 years. You'd think.
Well, there's no real hole in their team other than just being consistent throughout their regular season. Like start of the year, they lost to West Coast. We've said that a few times. We're like, how did that happen? But I think they figured it out. I think the new coach finally started playing the players in their best position. Like, who was the previous guy? I've gone blank now.
Leon Camera.
Like, it just got to the point where he was mucking around too much with the magnets. Whitfield, half back, half forward. He's got Himmelberg clearly as a great defender. Put him back forward, start the year. It's like, Lockie Ash and Cumming not really having the right sort of balance to their halfbacks. It was just a bit weird for a while.
It just took them some time to. I think they've always had a clear plan, right, with the new coaching staff, but it just took them a while to kind of get the groove. That's all.
Well, Kingsley's just come in and said, "What are you good at? That's where I'm going to play you." So
he seems like a motivational speaker in the little stuff that we see from behind the scenes. He seems like a dude that you want to go to war for.
And also that you'd be scared of because of his massive biceps. So
yeah, true.
They are ridiculously big, but they're not defined. They're just big.
He's a monster, man. Cool. So, okay, we've got this grand final now, boys. Collingwood, Lions. It'll be a heavily Collingwood crowd, as it always is at the G. I mentioned before, I don't think Collingwood is capable of putting the foot down and winning this game by 30-odd points or plus. But in saying that, I also can't see them getting blown. I think it'll be a really close game within 2 goals. We'll do our tips in a moment, but what's your initial sort of feeling about how this game might go? Like, where is it going to be won, lost? What are the key sort of factors at play for you?
Well, I think the midfield battle is always important. 2 tough midfields. We kind of saw, we haven't talked about Jordan De Goey. He had like 13 clearances. Like, he had the game of his life. Dacos didn't look great because he didn't spend a lot of time on the field either. He missed that goal that normally he'd kick with his eyes closed, but he gets another run, and he's going to be better for it this week. I think it's a midfield battle. I think they both have good spread, the teams. They're both quick. So I think if you get the ball and you get the ball moving forward, then that's a big advantage.
Fair enough. Look, McStay goes out. I think that's a big loss. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's a tough one, this game, because like such good contested teams. Collingwood are better on the run, probably you could say, but I don't know. Nah, it's going to be a close one.
I personally feel like Brisbane, if they have a start like they did against Carlton, they won't be able to work it back.
That's a fair statement.
Now, in saying
I don't think that will happen again.
Yeah, in saying that, I'm not sure if it will happen, but it also wouldn't surprise me. It's like when you haven't seen a team achieve the highest heights yet, you sort of doubt whether they can do it. They showed a few cracks against you guys, but in the end, they were too good.
Yeah. Look, Carlton played some pretty crazy football that first quarter, but they couldn't sustain it. And I think these 2 teams are better at kind of playing their brand for a longer period of time. I think it has to be a close game. It has to be a close game because both teams are going to bring the pressure and they're both highly skilled. I wouldn't be surprised if it's high scoring. But it also could be very similar to the GWS Collingwood game. The pressure in that game was ridiculous. Like you didn't have a second to even think or breathe. And they, what was it, 70 points or something like that scored each? Is it 73 to 72 or something like that?
I've gone blank. Maybe
Something like that, which is it's kind of the average. Like that's 70 points is kind of where it's at. I wouldn't be surprised if it's an 80 or a 90 in this game because both teams have kind of just pretty aggressive attacks.
It was 58 to 57.
Oh, okay, I'm wrong. Completely wrong. So then maybe it's a 70 game. Where did the 70 come from?
Your game
there you
was
go.
70 something to 60 something.
There you go. I think
that was a nice little sync there.
Synchronized.
I think Collingwood wins, man.
What's the margin?
7 points.
Okay. I think Collingwood win as well, as much as I don't want it to happen. But I'm going to go Brisbane by... I'm going to do a Georgie, what he did last week. I'm going to go Brizzy by 5 points.
I'll go Collingwood by 3 points.
Can you really see Collingwood lose this game?
I just can't.
I can't see
I
it.
can't. Yeah.
I want to see it. Obviously, I don't want Collingwood to win. That's pretty clear. I've always liked Brisbane as a team. I'd like them to get their flag. They've been up for a while, but they just feel like an underdog, and they shouldn't feel like an underdog. Really, they've beaten Collingwood twice this year. I think they beat him at the MCG as well. They're a really good team. They don't have any flaws, Brisbane. I just can't see. There's something about this Collingwood army. They're going to have so many fans there. It's going to be so outnumbered. They're so aggressive. How does Collingwood possibly lose this game? And the thing is, they lost in 2018, Collingwood. They just missed out on the grand final last year. I just think it's their time, man.
And let's not forget, though, history is on Brisbane's side in this one, not only with their own finals that they played against each other, but Matsa shared a nice little bit of history this week with Collingwood's premierships in the last 60 years.
Yeah, I was wondering what you were saying. So, North Melbourne, we're going to bring this back to my team, as we always do. North Melbourne has won 4 premierships in the last 60 years. And I think, I'm going to say, guess, boys, how much Collingwood? And you guys.
Yeah, I remember because you
guys know, but do you remember?
Was it 3 or 2?
2, man.
Yeah. Oh, and my question I had was how many grand finals have Collingwood been in? Because they're the Collywobbles, right?
Yeah, they've probably been in heaps,
That's the thing.
man.
That's how they lose. Maybe it's just...
Because I think Collingwood has been in more grand finals than any other team by like a mile.
Yeah, it would have to be. It would have to be.
So what is wrong with this team?
Like they're clearly...
I'm happy for it to continue like that, but
100%.
Well, they're clearly a powerhouse.
100%.
Like they've been around. They're always relevant. But yeah, that's a wild start. I couldn't believe that it was 2010 that they won the flag, and then 1990 before that.
And I'll tell you what, 2010, Saints had all the momentum in that game, man.
If the rules were now that there was extra time,
They lose that game.
Generally, the argument has been Saints would have won. You never know.
Of
But
course.
yeah, it's pretty wild, man. For that reason, I definitely give Brisbane hope. I mean, you can't explain that. But I still think I'll go Collingwood.
I felt like this year it's been about Collingwood, and it kind of feels like a little bit of fate. I know just that, like, as an organisation, as a team, like Darcy, what's the captain?
Darcy Moore.
Darcy Moore, how I forgot that. Darcy Moore is a brilliant captain. Even the speeches he was pulling out in the middle of the year, it's like he's just so on top of his game. The media staff and the thing that they were doing outside, they're just a team that it just knows what they're doing. They're just on point. And if the organisation is good on the outside, the team plays good, it all works together. It just makes sense that they win this year. It just does. And they've been number one all year. So, but Brisbane's no slouch. So we'll see what happens.
Well, do you want to do it, Matsa, or I? The Norm Smith first goal scorer.
Oh, you can do it, man.
You want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
So we've done our tips. Brisbane, Collingwood. Let's go Norm Smith, Matsa. Who's your bet?
Norm Smith. All right. So if I'm going to make it consistent with that, I tipped Brisbane. I'm going to stick with Brisbane. And I'm going to give it to... I haven't prepared this at all. So this is on the fly right now.
Just pick someone good.
Yeah, no, true. I'm just going to go with... I was going to say Lockie Neal, but I'm not going to go with Lockie Neal. I want to make it a little bit more interesting than that. I'm going to go with Harris Andrews.
Oh, wow.
I think he's just going to beast it in the defense.
They don't give it to defenders, bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, I feel like he's a dude that stands out. And if he stands out enough, which he's going to need to for them to win, I reckon he takes out the Norm Smith. Why not?
So he matches up against... who Who's he match up against?
Probably just the resting ruckman, or
Yeah, it doesn't even matter who he
Just roams
matches.
around.
Yeah, Maya check, it doesn't matter because he's going to be the guy who's going to be
it'll
intercepting.
be Mason
anyway.
Cox. It'll be
Mans
generally.
beats my check and wins the Norm Smith.
That's probably wild, but look, it's beyond that. It's beyond the fact that he's going to hold him. It's going to be the intercepting. It's going to be him directing traffic.
If you say so. I'm going to go for his direct opponent, Mason Cox.
Oh, you said this.
Nah.
weeks
The only
ago.
reason I bring up Mason Cox is because I said it ages ago that Mason Cox was going to win the Norm Smith.
Bro, if this actually happens, this guy said this like 3 months ago.
No, I said it probably even longer. Look, I don't think Mason Cox is actually going to win it, but he's the type of guy that will have one good game, and because he stands out so much, it's so clear. If I give you the statistical or like the betting, it'd be like De Goey or Jack Crisp. Like Jack Crisp is such a good player, man.
Yeah.
So he's a finals player as well. But Mason Cox, man, that'd be hilarious. And then he makes history. Then he's an American that's won it. You know, it's a storyline.
Fair enough, man. I'm going to be extremely boring and say Nick Dacos. I just think, look, this kid was...
I don't want Nick Douglas to win.
He was playing with he's still not clearly right. He missed out, I think they were saying between the first and second quarters, he was on the bench for a
Ages.
stupid amount of time.
Yeah.
And he still had 28 touches.
It's mental.
Off months of injury.
It's mental, huh?
Like, there's no way he doesn't come out if he's fitter and get 35. There's no way.
I mean, yeah. Look, they've got Collingwood has so many players that could win it. It's mental. I mean, so does Brisbane, but I think not as many as Collingwood.
Yeah.
I mean, like
a lot of match
Taylor
winners.
Adams can come back and win the Norm Smith. Like anyone in that team can win the Norm Smith.
That's a stretch. That's a bit of a stretch.
Not really. He's been pretty important. I mean, Pendlebury could win it. Cy Bottom could win it.
Josh-
Both the Dacoses
Yeah.
can win it. A Bobby Hill could win it, kick 4 goals. Like anyone could. Like it's just a mental team.
So what about first goal scorer, Matsa?
First goal.
Who's
scorer.
gonna get the first big one in the grand final?
So we'll say it's likely going to be a key forward, just a forward in general. We'll go with Jamie Elliott.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. So
Wow.
I'll change it and go Hoskin Elliott
Okay.
because they're both Elliots.
I'll go Bobby Hill. Bobby Hill will score the first goal.
There we go.
All right. I think, look, there you have it. No use going into it too much more than that. I think it'll be hopefully a great game. Last year was an absolute disgrace of a game. So
Shocking.
we want to relax. It's going to be nice weather in Melbourne. Give us a good game. We'll all enjoy ourselves.
Give us a good game. Give us a Brisbane win. If Collingwood supporters win, do us all a favour and just shut up, bro. Honestly.
Oh, look.
Carry on for a bit, there,
Nah,
but
look,
but
yeah.
not like you're giving us the indication from Instagram that you're going to celebrate for the rest of your life. Like enjoy it there, but like all these supporters that have never ever like watched a Collingwood game that are going to come out of the woodworks.
Look, as someone
Nah,
who
you're right.
as someone
That is
who was a
annoying.
little kid that can't really remember North's 99 flag, I say, look, enjoy the week.
Enjoy the week, enjoy the loss, and we'll see you next year.
Nah. Honestly, I'm very jealous of these teams in the finals, especially grand final. I can only imagine what it's like. So enjoy it. Yeah, hopefully it's a great game, like I said. So we should touch on, look, the Brownlow's on as we speak. We'll chuck it on after we finish. But seeing as though we're going to be releasing this after it's done, there's no real point getting into it too much. But for the sake of being right, who's your tip, Matza? And we haven't checked, by the way, to this point.
For the Brownlow.
Brownlow medal.
I'm going to go slightly off centre because everyone's saying Butters, but I'm going to go with Rosie instead.
Ooh.
Look, I like that. Because I think Rosie will poll a lot of votes, and it could be like a Petrarca Oliver situation where they take each other's votes, especially because Rosie's such a damaging player, right? I think it's hard to go against Butters because he's won the Coaches Award. Dacos would be the clear one if he didn't get injured. Bont has had an amazing year. Petrarca with no Oliver can do well. I don't think this guy's going to win, but I'm going to pick him just for something different. Jack Sinclair.
Whoa, okay.
Let me tell you why. Who polls? The Saints were in the top 8, and were in the top 8 the whole year. Who polls in that team? This guy gets 30 possessions every week and plays in the midfield.
That's a great shout.
Who
That's a great
polls
shout.
in that team?
Not Jack Steele.
Not Jack Steele.
Machito?
He'll get some votes, but I'm telling you, Jack Sinclair will get 18 votes in the Brownlow.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. No, I like that.
No, that's great shout.
I've been
Great shout.
saying for a while Petrarca, just because he hits the scoreboard. He did it without Oliver, dragged them to top 4. So I think he'll just get a bit of love from the umpires. But I was saying earlier off air that I would love to see a 3 or 4 way tie. Just Butters, Petrarca, Bond, everyone. You all
The
go on.
acceptance speech is like 6 hours.
Come on to Sheasel as well. Why not?
That's it.
Sheasel, yeah. How many votes is Sheasel going to get?
I'll give him 9.
12?
I'll give 9 or 10. Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's fair call. I don't think
maybe
he's gonna
more.
Go,
Maybe more.
I don't know if he's going to go into the 15 territory, but he'll maybe 10, maybe 10. Talking about North Melbourne, another thing that happened today was the assistance that was finally given to us.
Owning the
Congratulations,
first
boys.
round of the draft, baby.
Congratulations, boys.
That's it,
Thanks,
man.
George.
That's it. So we'll quickly
Do
go
it
through
quickly, and I've got something because I actually saw it. I think before you, Dean, because I saw
great.
it as the story broke on Instagram. All I saw was this from Alistair Clarkson, and I thought it says breaking and it has a picture of Alistair Clarkson. I'm like, this guy's quit or something like that. And then I saw North Melbourne has been granted an assistance package, right? And the first thing I went to is the comments, and
Yeah,
I
of course.
screenshot some of the comments, and I was pissing myself.
All
man.
right, you might as well
Do you want
go
to go for
Wait,
it?
can
All
I
right.
have one guess? Move them to Tassie, and then they'll deserve it.
Let's.
Is that one of them?
This is within a couple of minutes, right? I don't know what they currently are, but I'll just speed run them. Yay for rewarding ineptitude. An insult and joke to every other club, rewarded for poor performance on and off the field by tampering with the integrity of the competition. Be interesting to see if this actually works this time. I doubt it, but we'll see.
Okay.
How about not recruiting average players from other clubs on large contracts during the trade period?
Fair. Yep.
Hopeless, just go to Tassie and reset.
Yep. There we go.
Like nothing. I'm not skipping these. These
It's
are
one
all
after the other. Yeah.
Yeah, because more draftees is exactly what they need. You shouldn't have a mismanaged club, more opportunities to mismanage things. How
That one's
how
funny,
in the
that's-
world is this fair to West Coast? How about move the club to Tassie and stop giving them handouts? What a joke, embarrassing. Why are you rewarding a club for poor management? Flagger is 2024. It keeps going.
All right, look,
It keeps going, man.
I'm sick of it already. And you know what the thing is with all of this? This has been an AFL rule for the last like 30, 40 years.
No,
Right.
but my rebuttal. It's not.
No, I haven't even spoken yet. You're already going into a rebuttal.
my rebuttal.
up.
Man's
My
rebutting
rebuttal.
nothing.
You haven't look. This has been a rule for 30, 40 years, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's been around for a while. Most of these people who are making comments, their clubs have benefited more from this. I'm still talking, man.
Okay,
Come on.
relax,
They've
man. Work it
benefited more than this. All right, and if this is the case where it's so bad and everyone's so upset about it, end it here. This is the last priority. Make it that's it. No more. Because you're right. Maybe it is shit. No other code does it.
But the fact is, as
That's-
well, before George rebuts, it has been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's not needed to happen in a while or at this extent. And we should just mention, what did we get? We got pick 19 this year and 19 and 20 next year. So it's 3 late first round picks. So no team has been as bad as North Melbourne has been over 4 years. And the people saying unfair on West Coast, it's 2 years for them. Next year was the 3rd year. That was the first year we got it. They'll probably get it next year. So they're setting some sort of standard there. I said a few weeks ago, I actually hate all this. I would agree with Matsa. Just get rid of it. But it has existed and it does exist. So if North Melbourne doesn't warrant something like this, then what's the point of even having it?
Exactly.
what I mean?
17, 18, 18, 17. That's been our position of the last 4 years, and it's sucked. If anyone has grounds for a situation where, they get assistance, it's us. If it's that bad for the public, if it's that bad for other AFL fans, get rid of the rule now. Just get rid of
And
it.
I
now.
will say just one more thing. Sorry, George.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. And it's got to be, but the thing, sorry to cut you off, Dan, but it needs to be from the start of the year. Now we can go into this off season and review the whole assistance priority thing. If you're going to get rid of it now.
Yeah.
Because at the end, we weren't to know that, it would cause that bigger problem at the start of the year while asking for assistance was still a thing.
Yeah. And
So now, if
The
it's that big a
whole-
deal, get rid of it.
yeah, and
Get
look,
rid of it.
just honestly though, the whole don't reward ineptitude, they've made bad decisions, they dug their own hole.
That's the premise of the draft.
I know, but the thing
That's the
I
premise of the
don't
draft.
understand in that is the current state of North Melbourne has nothing to do with people behind the scenes currently. Brady Rawlings, who's done some good draft picks, in my opinion. It doesn't have anything to do with Todd Viney, who's now, if you want to get your house in order, we do. We've got some good staff now. We've got one of the best coaches of all time. The board seems to be settled. The club is in a great state, yet the issues of the current playing list, which is all this is about, our list just is not good enough, is not anyone currently in the office's real fault. It was the fault of the regimes more than 4 years ago when Brad Scott was still around. And I'm not going to blame him. I'm just saying under his coaching and the team that was currently at the club at that point got rid of over 1,000 games of experience in one off-season. Petrie, Del Santo, Ferrito, Brent Harvey, one of our best players of all time. And the impression was we would free up salary and restore it with some quality players. And we famously, and I'll laugh about it too, struck out. No Dusty, no Kelly, no Prime Gaff, Degoe, all these guys we went for, which was false hope, and they all failed, and they didn't draft well enough to even prepare for the worst case scenario, which is this. And there was no talent coming through. Like for a while, our best draftees were Ed Vickers-Willis, Sam Durden.
I was going to say that draft on its own.
Dudes
right
like
now,
this.
right now, where we need key defenders,
So-
we had 3 key defenders picked in one draft, and they all failed.
And the point being,
It's crazy.
we only started making better decisions as a club when we drafted LDU and Taron Thomas and that era of draftees, which is still only about that 4 or 5 year mark, which is why we've been bad. We've just haven't had good veterans, any good senior players, and no one's wanted to come to us. So yeah, we can talk as much as we want about North not deserving it, but the fact of the matter is the club is stuck because of poor decisions in the past, but not the fault of the current people trying to restore it. And whether the priority picks is the answer or not, time will tell, because they could strike out on all these picks and it's just a disaster. But
True.
we're heading in the right direction. I think this is the last little nudge. It's not possible to get worse than this because we've been just abysmal for a while. So anyone that says it, look, clearly your team's probably never been this bad and you don't know what it feels like, so you can get stuffed. And I hope your team's not this bad. I don't want to see a competition where one team's in the bottom 4 or bottom 2 for like 4 years. It's ridiculous, man. So look, it is what it is, man. I'm not sure how you feel about it genuinely after hearing all of that, but like, it's just a couple of late first round picks. It's not like the world's melting and like the draft is compromised. The draft is already compromised with Gold Coast bidding on 3 top 15 picks. So, and father, sons, and this and that. So it is what it is, man. The AFL draft is compromised, but I think if it's in good nature and like trying to do a good thing, then it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. So the thing I'll say, because I kind of knew what Matsa was going to say, that's why I had the thing come in my head to rebut straight away. But this is what it is. I'm happy that you guys got the pick, right? And if you're North Melbourne supporters, you go for the pick. Carlton applied for priority pick. They just didn't get it. So what I would say is, I don't know why you guys would even remotely get angry at those comments. Like the amount of shit that Carlton gets.
I just roll my eyes now, yeah.
It's ridiculous to even remotely get affected by that.
Look, it's not a thing. What angers me is how dumb people are.
Yeah, I know, but
they're just
don't get angry.
dumb. They're just so
They're not dumb. They're
It's
not dumb.
deluded.
They're not dumb.
It's deluded, bro.
Matsa, they're not dumb. They have their own perspective and they're not interested in helping out other clubs. Why would they? Is North Melbourne interested in helping out other clubs? No. So they're from other clubs and they don't want some other team to get an advantage, and you guys are angry about that, which I think is weird, right? So that's the first thing. Second thing, yes, North Melbourne have been shit, but you're talking to a Carlton supporter who, for the first time in his life, has seen them good. You can't tell me I don't know what it's like to have a shit team. My team has been bad my whole life. And in 2018, we applied for a priority pick and we didn't get it. So you guys have got a priority pick. We got some like access to like mature talent or some bullshit. Right? So you guys got a priority pick and we didn't, and we've been shit. And you're getting angry at me. You guys not understanding.
You guys weren't as bad as what we've been right now.
We've been bad our whole life.
No, but it hasn't been that bad.
Yes, it has been that bad.
No, it wasn't 17th, 18th, 18th, 17th. It wasn't that bad.
Well, first
Search
of all,
it up. You search it up.
Jacob
It wasn't
Wittering
that
was a
bad.
first-round pick, number 1 pick, and Sam Walsh was a number 1 pick. So if you're 14th or 16th, so there's no difference. We've been useless.
Can we agree that that's the problem? It's just stupid how there's no like, this is the line,
Now,
this is above it, this is below it. So that's where I can understand why you're upset as well.
That's the other, thank you for bringing back to my point. Yes, Carlton had a priority pick in the 2000s, which I didn't know about.
Two of them, by the way.
2. But and a lot of other teams did. But that's when the rules were different. And priority picks have not been handed out freely since 2012 when they changed the rules. So if you're saying, oh, all other teams got it, it's a different era. It's not comparable. The only team that's got picks from priority since they changed the rules, I'm pretty sure, or first round pick, like a prominent pick, is Gold Coast. So you guys now are actually, if you're claiming that North is, AFL hates North Melbourne, well, if you've actually got the pick.
No, I'm actually very happy with this assistance package.
No.
But you can't.
I think it's excellent.
You can't.
To be honest with you,
you guys have been saying like, "Oh, now North wants it," and everyone's giving them shit.
No, that's because comments like
that's
you're
bullshit.
saying to not get upset at those comments, but
how can you not?
the reality is
this,
we went through this last year because we did get some.
You guys aren't a big enough club. Carlton gets so much crap, man.
Nah,
I'm
look,
not used to it.
it's more just the whole, like I said, the main basis of my point was people blaming the current people working at the club or acting like it's just been a few years of bad mistakes. This all stemmed like years ago, as you know. It's so hard to dig out of a hole.
I know.
Yeah. So, like you said, your whole life, Carlton hasn't been doing, what you would like them to do, playing finals. So, look, I've said it. Or I said it weeks ago. I hate this thing, but like Matsa said, just end it now. Like you've set the precedent, you've given it to us, but everyone's kicking up a storm. Just say, okay, that's it.
And
Stop
do
it.
it from next season onwards. Or maybe, if you want to be fair to West Coast, because all of a sudden West Coast, in 4 years ago, they were 5th. So I think people got to settle down with, we need to give it to West Coast because they're
But you
bad
can
right
kind
now.
of understand why West Coast has turned to shit though. They had 2 COVID years. They had like injuries like crazy. And now their list is progressed a couple of years and they're all old farts.
But the thing is, you could say all these comments like, ineptitude, paying all that they did for Tim Kelly right now is ineptitude because they invested into a list that was already aging. In my eyes, you could say ineptitude. But hey, is
One mistake's not ineptitude.
yeah, but also all the
Multiple
drafting
mistakes.
mistakes. The only
And
good
look,
draft pick they've had
we should-
is
yeah.
Liam Ryan and Oscar Allen.
We should note as
Carlton, AFL didn't reward Carlton for their mistakes, right? They picked up Paddy Dow, they picked up O'Brien, they picked up Petrescu Seaton. None of those picks were successful. Wiedering draft, Charlie Kerner, Harry Mackay, David Cunningham, Silvani is the backbone of this list. That draft was 2015. We're in 2023 and Carlton's had their first rise. That's how long it's taken Carlton with no assistance from the AFL.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like and we've had to do the hard yards. So I understand how you guys feel and I would have preferred a priority pick at the time. Didn't get it. So you guys got it. Good on you.
It should be noted as well.
Hope
these
you guys
are,
recover quickly, but
and
some teams don't get that support. So let's not make it out like it's
correct.
all
No,
you guys.
no, I'm happy with the support. I'm just saying, let's not forget though, these are 17, 18-year-olds. They're getting picked in the late first round. There's absolutely zero guarantee that they make it or not because the draft is very random. So, it's all relative really. I don't see why other fans would be too upset. Like I can understand if your team's pushed back a spot on the draft, but ultimately good picks come from anywhere. Like Nikolaki was picked 70-something.
Another
top
thing-
picks flop. It can go either way.
Yeah, true. And essentially, these are second round picks. Like it's not like we're getting pick. It's not like we're getting pick 1. Like so, I think this assistance, I love it personally. Like just
Of course,
based on
yeah.
what we're getting right now, I love it. Right. All the complaints right now, like it annoys me because they're just basically bagging out our club. I don't like it. That's why I'm getting pissed off. But if it's that big an issue, I'm serious, if it's that big an issue, it just should go. Because there's no need. There's no need for this discussion like, it's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. Everyone's benefited from.
and the thing is,
benefited from this
no
process
other
in the
draft
past.
in the world, like NBA draft, NFL, all these drafts have rules to do with father-son, academies, priority picks, compensate. Like free agency in the NBA is ruthless. If your guy is out of contract and he wants to leave, you get nothing.
Unless
So-
it's restricted, and then you can.
You can match it,
You
but
can
I'm
match,
saying
that's
if
all it is,
he
yeah.
wants to leave and he's going to leave, you match it, you trade him, whatever it is, you try to get some compensation through the system. So I agree with you. Like it should all be gone, father son, while nice, and it
I
can
don't want father son gone. Getting Camporelli next year.
after next year.
After next year.
So anyway, it is a heavily compromised system, the AFL in general. So I think it's probably here to stay. And let's just hope no team needs it, all right? Like that's the main thing here is like we shouldn't have this conversation every
Look,
year.
the good thing is, good thing is, apart from North and West Coast, every other team this year has been really competitive and even, all the way down. The finals race was open till a very long time. So, look, I would like to see an even more even competition. So there's 2 teams that are missing out at the moment. So
Correct.
see what happens. And I think that's enough talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Apologies for yelling a bit, lads. I enjoyed it a little bit.
Matt's
not
has just
gonna
been
lie.
swinging all
sometimes
weekend.
Yeah,
sometimes Matsa goes into red zone though.
Yeah, nah. And speaking of red zone, I'm also an Arsenal hater now. So I'm just I'm enjoying hating a little bit. You know what I mean? Because I think I've been a very positive, member of the podcast, talking good things generally about teams. But I'm gonna start the hater. Heel Matsa is here.
Bro, you got to choose love over hate, bro. What's this bullshit?
We're gonna make shit interesting. You know
Who
what I
hurt
mean?
Matsa?
We
We
can
want
make
to
it
know
interesting without
in the comment
turning into
section
psycho.
who hurt Matsa. We want to know.
Yeah.
Who hurt Matsa?
what's the villain thing? You see yourself long enough to become the villain or some shit.
Yeah,
Matt has lived long enough to become the villain.
Yeah, no, that's it, man. I'm like Batman now. You know what I
Fair
mean?
enough.
I'm just like, I'm just a man's done. You know,
Gonna
I'm in
be
my
a-
Batman heel arc.
Oh,
You know?
jeez. You know what? I'm all here for it. Why not? We need a different
Look, we'll
personality on the couch.
North Melbourne, they make finals next year. Everything's good in the world.
There's no way
Or
we
they
make
win,
finals next
or
year.
wooden spoon, and here we go again.
Oh,
You
man.
guys have to watch me talk shit about you guys all week while Carlton's at the top of the ladder winning. I mean, I'm about to go into my hot guy summer phase for the next couple of years with Blues. So you guys better catch up quick, mate.
I hope so, man. Could you imagine a Carlton North grand final
No,
with us doing this pod?
I can't imagine it.
Not necessarily next year, but
Not next year. I'm saying in the
No.
future.
I don't
at some
think
point.
I don't think this podcast would survive if it's Carlton. I'd be, because this is a grand final. Like I said, like Collingwood fans, like I don't want you to win, blah blah blah. Like I actually feeling the preliminary final. Like these Collingwood fans that are this week, the nerves they'd be feeling and the pain they'd feel if they lost. That's terrible, man.
Mm.
Like I know it's Collingwood and the rivals, but these are people, man. They're like, and it's just a team. Like
these are people. Are they? Are they? I don't know.
well,
man.
Collingwood fans might not be though. They're a bit anyway. But I mean, this is like a massive moment in all Collingwood and Brisbane people's lives. So if it's Carlton North, given how passionate we are, we might have to just like not talk to each other until it's over, and then a
No,
week
you're right.
pass.
You're right. Like, cause man, I was almost about to punch you then, bro. But can you imagine?
This guy's punching on over
You
priority
couldn't
picks.
punch me, bro. You couldn't punch me, bro. I've
You're,
done-
you're pretty evasive.
I've done 3 lessons of boxing. You got no.
I don't know. Matt's is seeing red over 3 priority picks.
no. He's seeing red over people saying that North Melbourne sucks. That's crazy.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that is crazy.
That is crazy.
Your team sucks. What do you mean? Well, they do suck.
jeez.
But anyway, it's again, as I said, it's just people just making dumb comments, bro. Like if it's out of maybe it's just out of humor. And I just have to take it that way.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I
Look,
got to
you can't-
reframe.
you
I got to
can't get worked
reframe.
up about your own team like that. Like the amount of shit people give Carlton, even the preliminary loss, all the comments that were neutral supporters bagging the Blues. But I love that shit, man. I love it.
It's it's easy to love when your team's good.
No, my team's been good once.
No,
This
but
is
I'm
the
saying,
first time.
no. But I'm saying now. I'm saying right now. If someone like look. If I let's say for example, I was a Collingwood fan right now, and people are bagging my team. It's just like, haha, I'm first, dickhead. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Look, I must admit, this year I've kind of, in the last 10 rounds or so that Carlton's been good, there's the pride that has started running up into me. I start looking at other teams and I just think like, I just want to spit on them, you know? They're just usually, like, even you guys as North fans, like North is a nice, cute club. How many members you guys got? How many members you got?
Mid-50s?
mid-50s, yeah.
These are actually mid-50s.
Yeah, bro.
That's not as bad as I thought.
Can I just...
I thought it was like 20.
We've broken our membership record each year in the past few years. Respect to the North Melbourne members like
Yeah.
me and Matsa.
In that case, we deserve that assistance. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. That's it, man. Let's leave it at that.
I've never heard a North Melbourne roar. That's all I was saying. You guys couldn't
I'm
produce...
sorry. Did you see the
You
filth?
guys could not produce
Hang
what we
on.
produce in these.
We
these
were
finals.
at the game together. Were the North fans not going mental when those bullshit free kicks were being
Just you
called?
two. Just you two.
Were the North Melbourne fans not going mental?
All 2 of them were going crazy. All right.
Oh, that's another thing I can't wait till next year is going to North game with you guys.
Yes.
Man.
You get to see Harry Sheasel in the flesh again.
Yeah, I know
Lucky you.
You get to see Larky dominate Wiedering again.
Oh.
I don't think that's going to happen because Wiedering's getting his first All-Australian jumper next year. And Walsh is win the Brownlow. Way too early predictions for next year.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I guess he'll get his All Australian jacket after Larky did. So that's interesting.
I think... that's mental, man. That is actually mental.
It just shows how good Larky is, man.
Look, he had a good season.
Yeah.
A brilliant season. At least one North player had one.
Yeah. And what Sheasel wasn't.
Sheasel had a historic season.
So
At least 2 North Melbourne players had it.
I'll take it.
no, I'll take 2, mate. I'll take 2.
You're not
like-
getting 3. There's no way you're getting 3.
Yeah, nah. I can't like convince
Who would be
myself that there was a third.
Who would
player.
be the third?
Oh, you know what? LDU, but he was injured.
No, it's injured.
Taran.
Taran
Thomas.
Taran.
Injured as well. He didn't play. He
No,
was
he wasn't
suspended.
injured. He was suspended.
Was he injured or was he
Suspended.
bashing people?
Suspended.
And,
He's doing something.
Alright.
Yeah.
Get me out of this
Can we-
podcast.
Yeah.
No, it's getting wild.
Let's,
so. Let's watch the Brownlow
Let's
now.
watch the Brownlow
Yeah.
and let's watch a 4-way tie.
Yeah, true. Let's go. All right.
Thanks everyone
Let's
for
go
watching.
Brisbane.
As always,
Come
go
Brisbane.
Go Brisbane.
Come on, Lions.
Calm the pies.
If Lions lose, I'm going to kick you back into the jungle, you bastards.
Jeez.
That's the end of the pod right there.
See you guys.